Hi, this is Pastor Ken, and you're joining me for the series called Spurgeon Speaks. Now, I'm going to assign a label to this, a title, that Spurgeon is speaking to a woman who has had an abortion, a woman who has murdered a child. Now, it is murder, and I'm not soft about it. The reason I'm not soft about it is because if it's faced up to as murder, then the individual can find forgiveness in the eyes of God. But this is not necessarily written at a time when abortion was offered, but it was written at a time when people valued life. So I'm going to apply it to the conscience of a woman who made a decision to take away the life that was within her womb. Now, it comes to us from the sermon entitled The Blood of Abel and the Blood of Jesus, preached September the 2nd, 1866, Metropolitan Tabernacle Pulpit, volume number 12. Now, he's talking about the agony and the conscience of Cain after he killed Abel. I am certain that it would drive me mad, to have the blood of one person knowingly laid at my door. Would it be enough to dash all comfort from my life? But to have the blood of tens of thousands poured out to gratify my ambition, I think must make reason real at once. It must be an absence of conscience which makes reason to keep her throne when men have been wading through their fellow's blood for mere purposes of selfish pain. You might be referring to war. Seeing that there had always been no wars in Cain's day, and that the human heart was not to be brutalized as it is now, so to speak of war as we now do it in such gentle terms, surely if he had any conscience at all, it must have been a horrible thought to him that he had killed his brother. I have killed a man. I have shed his blood. Surely it made him stop in his sleep. How could he be quiet upon his lonely couch? The red-handed man, guilt, a grim chamberlain with fingers bloody red, would surely draw the curtains of his bed. Would not the spectacle all come up before his mind? The talk in the field, the sudden impulse, the blow, the blood, the look of his victim as he cried for pity, as one cruel stroke succeeded another, and then the sight of the ghastly body and the streaming blood and the crimson marks, soddened earth. Oh, it must have been a remembrance clinging like a viper around the murderer, wherever he might be. He might well build a city, as we are told he did, in order to quench these fiery remembrances. Then would the thought come upon him, you slew him, though he was your brother. Am I my brother's keeper? Said he. But men can talk sometimes more braggingly than their heart talks in secret. The horror of brother killing must have haunted Cain. I slew my brother. I, the first that was born of woman, slew the second. And then it would be suggested, and wherefore did I slay him? What evil had he done me? What if he did offer a different sacrifice from mine? And what if God did accept him and not me? And yet what hurt had he done me? The innocence of his victim. If Cain had any conscience, he must have increased in unweariness, for he would recollect how inoffensively he had kept those sheep of his, and how he had been like one among them, so lamb-like, that shepherd man himself, a true sheep of God's pasture. Yet would Cain say, I slew him because I hated God, the God before whose bar I am soon to stand, the God who set this mark on me. Can you picture the man who had thus to be daily scolded and upbraided by his brother's blood? It needs a poet's mind to teach him. Think how you would feel if you had killed your own brother, and how the guilt would hang over you like a black cloud and drop horror into your very soul. Now, thank goodness Spurgeon will shift a little bit in the next paragraph, and I won't read too much of it, just to say the opening sentence. Now, brethren, there is more equal force in the cry of the blood of Jesus, only it acts differently, and it speaketh better things. So I need to definitely, in this little message, allow for the blood of Jesus to speak, because I was speaking about the horrors of murder and comparing it to abortion. So let me speak about the wonders of the blood of Jesus. The blood of Jesus does cleanse from all sin. And indeed, if someone's listening to this and they had an abortion, or know of someone that had one, the blood of Jesus speaks as well. Thank you for listening in. See you again.